Hello, Tar Heel Nation. Welcome to the first off-season podcast of UNC Hoops Talk. I am Dan DeWitt, your host, and it's been too long. It's been too long since last podcast, especially going from once a week during the season to once a month now. It just feels like forever ago. Sorry it's been so long. I've been meaning to come back and podcast sooner, but I'm just not over it yet. I don't know if you are. It hurts when people bring it up, when I talk about it yet. And yeah, it just hurts yet. Haven't even gone back to watch the game again. I meant to do it, the week after, whatever. I haven't done it. And I've sat down a couple of times saying I was going to and just couldn't do it yet. So still working on that. I'm I don't know, progressing through the morning process, I guess. Tell me where you are in that process. Are you totally over it? Are you on to the next season already? Let me know, because I definitely am not. So I'd like to hear where other Tar Heel fans are at in that process. And yes, should be a fairly short one. Not a ton of news. Of course, some NBA draft stuff, NBA playoff stuff, as far as it concerns the Tar Heels, and as much as we care. But yeah, so jumping right in, of course. NBA draft stuff and NBA playoffs are going on, but as far as what it will totally affect the Tar Heel team as far as next year, we completely know already. Besides where people's minds are, or hearts are, or whatever than that, everybody's coming back. Justin Jackson just yesterday, as I'm recording this, Tuesday, what's the date today? Tuesday the 17th is when this is being recorded. Yesterday, Monday, Justin Jackson announced that he will be officially returning back to North Carolina for his junior season. Kennedy Meeks has already announced, when he did not get invited to the Combine, that he would be back. Joel Berry and Isaiah Hicks, about the only two others that had a choice or had a chance to really test the waters, didn't even do so, came back for their sophomore and junior years respectively. And so we're set as much as we can be. Everybody that can be coming back is. We're bringing in the freshmen, which was also on the agenda to talk about today, that they will be coming onto campus soon. I think it's the middle of June or so, about a month. They'll be coming in to start summer school. Of course, the pickup games and all that stuff will be going on campus, trying to get them as ready as we can. But we got Tony Bradley, like 6'11" center that can step out and shoot. I believe he was in the three-point contest for McDonald's All-American game, so he can shoot a little bit. We got Seventh Woods, the combo guard, really athletic, coming in. Jalik Felton is coming in at point guard. Big point guard, a little bit of a change from Marcus and really even Kendall. Going back, I don't know that we've really had a big point guard like this. I mean, he's like 6'6", 6'7", I believe. So big time scorer. Will be exciting to see kind of what they can bring and what they can add to our team and where we can go as a team. I don't think we have quite as high expectations for next season as we did this past season, but they're still pretty high. We should be still top 10 to start the preseason. And yeah, I mean, we're still a veteran group. The core is still veteran, and we'll see who can pick up Marcus's leadership, who can fill in for Bryce's production that we'll be losing, and see how far we can go. It's still a pretty promising season. We'll just see how the guys can put it together. As far as freshmen go, we also do have, I think he's a preferred walk-on, and I don't know his first name right now, but Rush. It's if you remember, Kareem Rush, Brandon Rush was at Kansas. Kareem Rush was at Missouri. And then their oldest brother, Jalen, something like that, Jaron, was at UCLA a decade or two, probably 2 decades ago by now. Man, that makes me feel old. So yeah, we got everybody coming back. We're as stacked as we can be for next year. I don't know that there's anybody else we're looking at adding. And Roy usually doesn't add the fifth-year transfer guy, the graduate guy, or JUCO guys, anything like that. And I don't know if there's anybody that we're going to that will be productive next year, that will help us next year. So our team is kind of set. As far as other NBA draft stuff goes, obviously Marcus and Bryce still going through that whole process. I don't look at draft boards a whole lot. For what I'm looking at, or what the little bit I've caught on Twitter, it sounds like Marcus's second round pick and Bryce's mid to late first round. Probably leaning more towards late from the little bit I've seen. Again, I don't pay attention. I could be completely off, and you can correct me if I am. That's just, a little bit I've seen. So excitement still for next year. Wishing good luck to Bryce and Marcus, of course. And, really hopefully for Marcus, he almost goes undrafted. I know people, the stigma of, hey, you got drafted, of, another Tar Heel drafted, that kind of stuff. But really, it's almost better if you're going to be a second round pick to go undrafted and then pick your team that you want to sign with, so you have a better chance of making the team. But obviously, wish those guys the best of luck. And really, the only other thing I was going to talk about this podcast is the NBA playoffs and the Tar Heels we have left. And I think we had, out of all the colleges when the playoffs started, the most players in the playoffs. But we are down to, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't do all the research, but I believe we're down to just two, and they're both on the Warriors. Harrison Barnes and McAdoo is technically on the Warriors, sitting on the bench there. But I don't think we have anybody else on anybody else. We're down to the Final Four. If you don't watch the NBA playoffs, it's the Warriors, which dropped a game kind of surprisingly to the Thunder last night to start those finals off. And then we have the Cavs playing the Raptors in the East in those finals. And so obviously we take a look. Also, we don't want any Duke players to get rings in the NBA. And so we have Kyrie on the Cavs, McRoberts, if you remember him. I know it's surprising that he's even still in the league. But he is on the Thunder, I believe. And so, obviously we want the Warriors to win. Have Harrison and McAdoo get another ring, bring that championship trophy back around Chapel Hill, and celebrate with them. But that's really all there is. Not a lot of news. As far as college basketball goes, any underclassmen that have entered the NBA draft without signing a agent have until the 25th, next week. Was that Friday or something? Let's see. No, next week, I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there, to withdraw from the NBA draft and come back to college. So it should be a lot of news about that this week yet. So we'll see who comes back, who's going to, what teams need to fill in some holes, what teams will be ready to hit the ground running next season. But the Heels are set. We got everybody. And that's about all I got for you. I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter, off-season podcast, not as much to talk about. Hit me up with some stuff I should discuss in the off-season. Anything you want to, any segments, ideas you got, anything like that. Open to any of that kind of stuff. We need stuff to talk about in the off-season. If you don't know, we are into once a month podcasting now here until we get to about October when the season's ready to start. One other thing I guess we should talk about is that North Carolina got the revised NOA, or Notice of Allegations. Roy Williams, men's basketball, completely withdrawn from any allegations. The university is still in there, so we can still get hit. Women's basketball is still in there pretty big. Football was not in there, so they should not get really anything additional. Women's basketball may get hit pretty bad, unfortunately. The university can still get hit pretty bad, and that can still affect men's basketball, and they can still get some, because of the institutional stuff, they can still get hit a little bit. But good news that your men's basketball, Roy Williams, not mentioned at all. And now it's still back to waiting to, I think there's hearings that got to go on and all that, and then the NCAA comes out. So it still could be another season. It could be next summer yet, summer of 2017, before we get any punishment or really know anything, which really stinks. Love to get any punishment and start the punishment if we get it, or just kind of get it passed, and so recruiting can get back fully on track. But yeah, we did get that, so there's a little bit of progress, and yeah, whoever knows with the NCAA, we can't ever tell. They're so up and down and inconsistent with their punishments. We don't really know what's going to happen. So that is some other news that we obviously should mention here on the podcast. But yeah, if there's other stuff that you'd like that should be discussed, of course, once I get over it and can watch the game, I'll give any other 2 cents that I have about that. But other than that, love to hear from you. Love for you to subscribe, support the podcast, share it around to other Tar Heel fans that you know that maybe don't listen yet. So sorry it's so short, but I don't want to waste time either. I don't want to babble on about stuff that doesn't need to be talked about or discussed. So that's all I got. Until next time, go Heels.